temple is like no other building in the world. It has towers and decoration and all the refinements which the human genius can conceive of.
Hello everybody, this is J-Money here, and for today's video I'm doing a base tour on my team's second base. If you are out of the loop, unfortunately our second base was leaked and we had to vacate. There was a lot of drama that unfolded behind the scenes with this one, which was extremely unfortunate. I really wish it didn't go the way it did, but that's just how Minecraft is, unfortunately. You win some, you lose some. But for today, I want to show off the base. This is probably one of the best bases I think all of us have ever made, and definitely deserves its own video to showcase all the excellent work we have all done. So hopefully everyone will enjoy the video. Please make sure to like, comment, and sub. It helps the channel and it's very, very much appreciated. And hopefully you guys got some snacks and ready to kick back and enjoy this video. Alright everybody, let's get this base tour kicking off. We're going to start right here in front of the storage room. This is the main storage room building. This was built by Greed, and he did an excellent job on constructing this. This was definitely like the focal point of the entire base, kind of like a Capitol building kind of feel on it, and he did a very excellent job on this. The views from all over the other parts of the base, just seeing it on the background, it was just amazing. So huge props for Greed for constructing this. I'm going to show off the storage room real quick. This is a world download that I'm in. As you can see, I am in creative. This is all on the server. I will later in the video be going back to the base's location on the server to showcase it. Mostly just because parts of the base are pretty heavily griefed, either from people that came here after the base was found, or from ourselves, just for not having some of our items we weren't able to save fall into enemy hands. So I'll be doing part of this base tour in the world download, and then I will be doing the rest of it in on the server, just because of the base being griefed and not everything is on this world download. But yeah, so here is the Capitol building, I like to call it. It's just kind of like a big headstone for our storage room down there. Haven't really done much in the inside part of this, but to be honest, I don't even think it really needs it. This place is just so cool. And I got the shaders on today. I will put the shader name in the description in case anybody's interested. This is just one of my personal favorites. I like. Shows off the game pretty well. But if we come into the storage room, we have utilizing one of those new features in the recent update where you're able to get the mob heads to make sounds with the note blocks when you place them on top. So I don't remember who added this. It might have been Wena or Squids. I really don't remember. I'm sure someone will correct me in the comments. But we have a couple of these throughout the base. And this is a little fun touch. But coming down to our storage room, the storage room was also designed by Greed, and the idea for it was to kind of have like to show off our wealth. So we did all quartz, and then coming down over here, this is our subway terminal. Obviously we didn't utilize every single one because you never really finished the base. This base lasted I think like 8 months. It's about 8 months of work, so pretty good for 8 months of work, I'd say. It's again, it's a real shame we never got to really see the full potential of this place, because it probably would have been even better than my first base. And in some people's opinions, it is. I still really love my first base, but this one is really awesome too. But yeah, over here, subway tunnels. The idea for the subway tunnels was that there would be different lines for either passengers, like freight for carrying like minecart chests or whatever, or, you know, utilizing them for both also. So that's what like the frog lights were symbolizing here. And these will take you to different parts of the base, like Haskell's Command Center, which I'll show later in this part of the video. And yeah, we also had some Halloween mobs here too, but obviously they're not here anymore. Never really utilized them for anything, unfortunately. So coming down over here, here is like the main storage room, and this was all done by Greed. Greed did a very excellent job on designing the storage room here. We used mostly quartz. Oops. Used mostly quartz and uses green glazed terracotta for like the accents on the outside, along with like the trees and bushes next to the fountains. So, did a very excellent job on this. This is where we stored a majority of our items that were at this base, not including offsite items and stuff like that, and offsite bases. You can't see in the world download, but these all would have had item frames on it, signalizing what was in each chest. And this was just filled with just shulkers and shulkers of items. Definitely just the biggest collection of items on the server, maybe in the server's history. And from that, we were able just to build all these giant mega builds, which was pretty sick. So, carrying on this way, over here is the Great Villager Trading Hall. This was built by me, but it was never finished. One of my biggest problems during this base's time was that I overpromised myself on a lot of builds I wanted to make, and I kind of burnt myself out on it because I promised to make so many things, and it just killed my motivation. So, this was my take on the Villager Trading Hall. This was going to go all the way down pretty much to bedrock, if it needed to be. As you can see, as it's dug out, and on each floor right here there's going to be 64 villagers, and I was going to have each floor just be a different villager type. As you see, this top one was librarians, and then the priests, the clerics, and then we're going to have like the armor and toolsmiths, and so on and so on. So that was kind of like my idea behind it. Never got finished, unfortunately. I was too lazy to finish it. Lesson learned from this is don't overpromise yourself, and don't shoot too big for a build, because you will get burnt out. My next base that I'm working on with Husky and Metal Pumpkin, doing a much better job on my motivation and my promises on builds. Much more is getting done. Smaller scale, but I'm having more fun with the game that way, so maybe not too much more larger builds for me in the future, but I'll give you an overview of how I wanted this to kind of fully turn out. My idea was to maybe have some kind of like mosaics on the walls right here, where it was kind of just plain, and then this was obviously going to go all down all the way, maybe with a water pool at the bottom, and there was going to be stairs, so just in case you didn't want an elytra or you didn't have one on you at the time, there was going to be a staircase that ran down all the way through the storage room, excuse me, the Villager Trading Hall. And then over here was my Villager Breeder. I copied this design from a YouTube video, but I made my own modifications to it. So obviously this part right here is from a YouTube video, but down here is where I made integrated this with the subway system. I had a little control module thing right here, so you can switch it to either A, dispense the villagers straight into the trade hall, which was part of this design, as you can see looking through FreeCam, if you needed to move villagers, if you needed to just, you know, replace villagers, whatever you needed, I made it very easy to get villagers into these stalls. And what would happen is that it will dispense the minecart, pick up the villager from right here. You could pick it up for this little corner block right here, and then it would shuffle it all the way around, and it would go in circles and circles all the way down to the bottom, covering every single stall. And you would just manually just flick what levers you need, have someone send the villagers, and you just sit there and you just keep going down, and they'll keep dropping in. So it was a very fast and efficient way to put the villagers into their stalls. And then also there was an option to send it through the general subway system. If we need the villagers anywhere else in the base, the option was there as well. Little barrel for putting minecarts in to load up the dispenser down there, and then you just press a button and villager will come out. Obviously this is the world download, so none of the inventory IDs for chests and whatever were saved from the server, so, and there's no villagers either, so I can't really show you, but that's how it worked. It was a very efficient system. Everyone liked it. I was very proud of this build too, so very nice. And then I did this initial part, I think Husky or Squids, I don't remember exactly, I'm sure I'll be corrected in the comments, extended down here for more villager breeders, because the demand for villagers was just at an all-time high at this place. We love villagers, we use them everywhere, and yeah, this was used pretty well. Pretty happy about how that turned out. Coming down over here, on our unfinished build, this was going to be the casino. This was mostly me. I also had Metal Pumpkin help as well. If you remember from the first base tour, I had the casino, or the poker table, the automatic poker table, and I built that here as well. The person who I founded on YouTube built an updated one that was better and eliminated some of the problems that the previous one had. So I built the newer one here. We played poker here a couple of times. I'm not going to explain how it works again because I explained it in the first one. But we played here a couple times. It was fun. I'll probably build it again at the third base, just because we like poker, and this is pretty fun to have it in game. So I'll show you a quick little thing of the redstone here. It's a big old clusterfuck, but I'm sure, you know, Google it on YouTube, you'll find it, and there's a tutorial for it. And I have a Lightmatic of it too, so it shouldn't be too bad to rebuild again. But this is a little bit of a pain in the ass, but I had these, for some reason the lights aren't on, but it was like a cascading light effect that would kind of flicker throughout the thing, and yeah, and that was that. A little maintenance store right there. Obviously, not finished, never got to finish it over here. I think this was a bar that Metal Pumpkin was making over here. Again, not finished. Very much a shame. Very sad we never were able to finish some of this stuff, but it is what it is. We'll go this way first. So up here was Wena's library. Hallway's not finished, obviously, but coming in over here, this is Wena's library. Wena did a very excellent job at building this place. Little enchanting setup, all these little desks everywhere. One very noble thing about Wena's builds is that she uses player heads in her builds, and so she farmed up a bunch of player heads with all these different skins on it, and it just really adds an extra little pop to all these builds. So she did a very excellent job with that. Definitely an S tier builder, in my opinion. This was like the little hallway area. She redesigned this library, I think, twice. Wasn't too happy with the first iterations of it, but she did a very excellent job. She finished it, or mostly finished it right before the base fell, so we have most of the library. It might seem a little bit empty. I don't know if she ever planned on like putting some more extra stuff in here, but she did a very excellent job on this. Now here's this. This was, I think we had our, what do you call it? The enchanted books and all that stored in here. Yeah, so very, very good job by Wena on this. Going in here, I think this was kind of inspired by Harry Potter, I believe. She might yell at me later in the comments, I don't know if I'm wrong. But this was like a little like floating candle room, and then when you come up here, I put a 3x3 piston door, a little secret door, that comes over to the ground floor area of the library. All these nice little books and all that. Little desk over here, and yeah, coming up here, this is like the top floor section. Again, utilizing those player heads, and just the overall detail in here is just amazing. Coming up here, again, a little more desks and all that, using the end rods. And then over here, it didn't save in here, but she had all our player heads here as a little memorial to the team, which was very nice. Yeah, so here's the library. Coming out here to the front, we're at the back of the storage room. I'll give you a good look at the library. I don't think this top part was finished yet, but as you can see, very excellent work. Over here, this area right here between the library and the storage building over there was built by Dr. Squids. Right here was Genack, Fountain of Youth. I don't know lore behind this. I think this is just a little fountain that was built here by him. And then down here, there used to be a big mountain range that came through here, and Squids decided to just tunnel straight through it. And I remember when he first did it, we all freaked out and were like, "Oh, what are you doing? This looks horrible!" And a bunch of people freaked out on him, and he said, "Hold up, let me cook." And my God, did he cook! This area he did a very excellent job on. I believe there's all these hallways that connect to different areas in the base. I forgot the Lush Cave flower. I forgot what those are called. I'm actually gonna check. Spore blossoms. There we go. Spore blossoms on the ceiling. Drop the particles. You have all the cherry leaves and the trees right here on the sides of the path. Little hallways right here, and then you just get this awesome view of the storage building from right here, which I don't know if he planned that or not, or if it just worked out like that, but huge kudos for Dr. Squids on making this, because it looks absolutely beautiful. Man, were we wrong on that, and I know he is kicking his feet of me saying that, because he did a great job on this. Over here was also built by Dr. Squids. This was like a maze that he made. Totally functional maze. You can kind of go through here. I don't know if there was like an endpoint in here at all, but it was a functional maze, you know, board, kind of walk through the maze and try to find your way out. But yeah, he did a real good job at that. Over here on this mountain, I'll show this real quick. There was a Christmas tree. I built a giant Christmas tree here, but the other base mates wanted it gone after Christmas was gone. I wanted to keep it, but they didn't want to keep it, so they destroyed it. But I had a big Christmas tree here. I decorated lights and all that. I also built like a little, there was an armor stand here, but a little like Jesus thing too for like Christmas and all that. I thought it looked good right there, kind of like a Christ Redeemer in Brazil. And yeah, over here was, this was Zeeb's house. Zeeb built his house right over here on this mountain, and showing off his house. I helped him a lot with his house. He's not a regular Minecraft player, he's one of my close friends, so I wanted to make sure he had a good time, so I helped him with his house. And this is the basketball court. Zeeb's a really big basketball player, and so he wanted a basketball house in his basketball court, in his house, so we had that built for him. And then over here is a little storage area with his bed, and I think there was like a TV here, a little couch, and then there was like a little like sauna, like hot tub room in here that he made, which looked pretty well. Had the campfires under the blocks right here for the smoke, so very nice. And then over here was just in our room, and then a little fireplace, and this was the studio. Z makes music. He's really passionate about that, so I made him a little studio in here. He's got a little recording booth in here and stereo and cooking up some music up in here. So, and a stripper pole, because gotta have the stripper pole. So yeah, a very nice little build right here. Again, didn't get finished. He had very big plans for this, but never got to see him through, unfortunately. But yeah, let's see. I'll show the command center, and then that'll probably be the last thing I show for this part, and then I'll go on to the server and show the rest, just because those parts are ungriefed and I can show off a little bit more of it. But if we come down through this hallway right here, I think it's just straight ahead, yeah. This is the Husky Command Center. As you can see right there, this was Husky's command center. Husky had all of his farms and operations in this general location, and he had all of the farms collecting to this point, which I'll show in a bit. But Husky did a tremendous job at this place. It looked amazing. I think Wena helped him design a little bit with this, and yeah, it turned out very, very nicely. He did a very good job on this. Down over here, this was on our rapid station, like you see throughout the base, just for quick rockets and totems and all that. Over here was a lava farm. You press the button, lava cauldrons will get shifted around, and the ones in the back are going to fill up with lava again. So if you need a lot of lava, just right here. Over here, these chests don't look like anything, but this was a shulker farm. Before the last base fell, or the first base, we did get a shulker there, but the base got discovered, and we had to hide the shulker, and we had a bunch of people there, but no one ever found the shulker. So what we did is that we took the shulker from the first base, and we transported it via flying machine on the nether roof for, I think it took like 2 days to get it here. And you can kind of see the remnants of it right here, but there was a big shulker farm right here, kind of in the sky almost. And Husky took a bunch of pride in building that, and it was really nice. It worked pretty well. The server, with the server settings, it kept breaking the farm, and the shulkers were despawning. So we have had Genack help us a couple times with that. I'll show you I built a solution for that later. It's over there, but I think it got cut off in the world download, which I'll show it later. But we had all these chests right here were just filled of shulkers of shulker shells. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 double chests of shulker shells, shulkers. So a little bit of tongue twister there. So yeah, shulkers were never a problem ever again after that, and they're still not. I'm pretty sure we emptied these chests multiple times too, and we just have an infinite supply of shulker shells now, so pretty nice. Coming down here, a little bit of a bee farm right here. I don't remember what it was. Oh, I remember. Yeah, over here, I think Squids actually built this down here. This was a pumpkin and melon farm. He likes building those. Over here was an overworld portal gold farm. There's just a bunch of portals all lined up here, and they would spawn the piglins, and they fall and get killed. And so we had an overworld gold farm, which I don't think many people have made on the server, so it was pretty nice to have that accomplishment. This was like our little trip sitting room. It looked pretty cool, just staring in here. So sometimes we come hang out here and just stare into the little swirls of the portals. Here, I'll build that one in a second. Over here with all these emeralds blocks, this was the mob grinder. This was Husky's super mob grinder, the most probably efficient general mob grinder in the server's history, I must say, unless someone else has a better one. But as you can see right here, Husky's little sign. All these were from Husky's raid farm. Now in the current update of 1.21, raid farms are nerfed. You don't really get as much emeralds, and it's a little bit harder to farm it. But before that, Husky and Wolf designed a raid farm, and They built it here at the base, and Husky AFK'd it for many hours, and we are just loaded on emerald blocks. So yeah, the emerald blocks are the kind of the main building block here that Husky used. Come down here, this is the little area for like the kill chamber and all that. I don't know if this works. We could try it. But yeah, you turn it on. Little kill chamber thing over here. The mobs will drop here, and then you just sit there and whack them with the sword and kill it. And it gave an insane amount of XP. And you can see the mob farm thing right here. Oh yeah, it doesn't look like it's working, unfortunately, but that's okay. Yeah, the mobs would get all washed out. They would fall down here, and then they'll travel along this path. The lava here was to killing the spider stragglers. We did have some mob spawners here too. Looks like this one was never utilized, but I think this was a skeleton one here. Yeah, and everything just fed into this one area. They'll fall right here and kill them. Yeah, the area completely lit up, and the mob farm here was just awesome. You just 1 to 30, faster than any Enderman farm that you could build in the end. It was perfect. Down here was just an ancient city. I think Metal Pumpkin was going to do something down here, but never got around to it. Yeah, there's a funny story behind this. Pumpkin got extremely upset that someone went down there, so we left these signs because he was very upset that we stepped foot in this little area. So yeah, we left the signs there. It's a little joke, a little access point there for when you eventually build something. But coming back up here, going along through this way, over here I built these just general villager crop farms right here. Nothing too crazy, just the normal gist of it. Had it all hooked up down here, and as I said before, all these farms would hook up all over to this area over here. So over here, this is like the staircase in the middle, which I've shown. But when you come over here, this is the moneymaker room. This was Husky's shulker loader area, and so every single farm in the base, or I think in the base, except for like the raid farm, obviously, because it was too far away. But every farm in this area of the base, all the items would get funneled over here. And every single one of these is a shulker loader. And with our shulker farm, we have infinite shells and shulkers, so we packaged everything into shulkers. So every single farm that's in this base almost would all come into here, and we have big aspirations for the 1.21 update with the autocrafter, but unfortunately the base did not see the light of day of that update, so we never was able to fulfill that. But yeah, every single chest here was just filled with shulkers of loot. Over here, Husky's Iron Farm 2.0, Husky made. Similar design to the one at the first base that I helped him design. He built another one here again, and the raids here were just amazing. The iron guns would fall through here, and then funny enough, they would come up through here, so then you kind of would just see iron golems flowing through these pillars sometimes, which was pretty funny. And they'll come over here to die, and the iron will get filtered and put back down over here into the shulker loaders. Going over some of the other farms real quick, yeah, he had the double one. Yeah, the iron farm rates here were just insane. Over here was a general, just normal tree farm that Husky built. This does all the like normal wood types, which is like oak, birch, spruce, jungle. I think maybe acacia worked on this one, I don't know. But as you can see, we use a lot of mangrove wood, and to meet up with the demand, I built a mangrove tree farm over here, which exploded like 4 times on me, like every single tree farm I've built. A little bit of a pain in the ass, but mangrove tree farm right here, it was very efficient, very nice. Produce a good amount of mangrove logs, and then the byproducts with like the, I think was it like the like the vines or the roots and all that, converted over here to bone meal, which would go back over here to be used in here. So very, very awesome, efficient farm that I made. I copied this from a YouTube tutorial, obviously, because there's no way I'm building this by myself. But yeah, there was that. There might have been a couple other farms I missed. Yeah, here's a cobblestone generator farm. Very similar design, I think, to the first base. I think Husky built this. I think there's a different TNT duper though, because as you remember, it broke right before the first base fell. And I think this one broke too before this one fell. I don't know. Some cobblestone generators and breaking is like a bad omen, I guess. But yeah, as you see right here, Husky had a very similar idea to the one that I built at the first base, where cobblestone flows through here, smelting the stone, smooth stone. So yeah, it was pretty cool. We go this way. Over here is a little crafting area, nothing too fancy. Wool farm over here. This was all loaded with sheep with two of every wool type, so we just had infinite wool. As you can see down here, I think that was a collection point. Come back over here. This was some carpet and rail dupers, as you can see right here, reflecting on the opposite side of this wall. We needed carpet dupers right here. I think we had rail dupers here also, and then this pops up back over here. Yeah, so I think that's all I need to show for like the world download. I think the rest of it I can show on the server. So what I'm going to do is I am going to sit right here, and then when I cut back to the video, I should be back on the server. So see you back on TTAC. Alright everybody, we are back on TTAC. We are on the server, as you can see. And this is what the base looks like today. It's been about maybe 6-8 months since it fell. Don't quote me on that. But here we are, as you can see, a little bit griefed, a little bit, you know, beacons are gone obviously, stuff is blowing up, but still intact in the most part. So I'm going to show some of the other stuff that I didn't cover in the first part, obviously. Over here, as you can see, this is like the portal over here. Dr. Squids built this. I did the surrounding area along with like the little balloons, which I think I did a pretty good job on. This center thing with the portal, I was stumped on this for weeks. I built a couple different designs. I couldn't really, you know, get it to work. I didn't really like how it looked. Dr. Squids jumped in and he built this, and it looks pretty nice. As you can see, it's a little griefed, the obsidian in here and all that. I think there was like gold up here originally, but yeah, no, it still holds up. It still looks very good. He did a very good job with that. As you see, the beacons are gone. Over here is the mailbox room. This is where everyone's mailboxes was. As you see, they're all empty. Everyone has a little mailbox. I'll show you the redstone real quick. This is how the redstone works. You just have the comparator, and it turns the light on when you have something in the mailbox, like so. Very similar design like the first base. I highly recommend it if you have a team base like this. Mailboxes work very nicely. Over here was like our bedroom. As you can see, it is a little bit griefed, but most of it's still here. Little to-do wall. All the beds are up here, as you can see. A little bit griefed, obviously, but this was like the first building. This was built by Wena. When we first got to the base, the portal was like right here, and this was the first building we made, just a little forward operating base. As you see, there's chests in here, and a to-do wall. A lot that we needed to do, obviously, starting the base. But yeah, that's this room. Over here was like a little bar kind of thing. This was built by Wena also. This is where we stored a lot of just extra armor sets just in case that was needed. Hasky would die a lot, so he would be utilizing this armor a lot. Obviously it's gone now, but nice little bar area. Wena did a very good job at designing this. You come up here, little armor stand. Surprised they're still here, honestly. Nothing in here really, but very, very well done build by Wena. Let's see. We'll go over here. So over here is the animal stable. This is where we kept some of the farm animals. For some reason, a lot of villagers here as well. Joe Biden's here, the sniffer. Surprisingly, this isn't hit that hard. The animals are still here, the pigs, chickens, and all that. I think Wena built this also, or Squids, I don't really remember. One of them built it. But yeah, this is where we stored all the animals. Music is here. Very nice. Throw that on a barrel somewhere. So find that later. Over here, this was the first iteration of the wool farm. As you can see, it was pretty heavily hit with the base spell. You still kind of see, you kind of see a little bit of how it worked. You know, the sheep were all lined up right here, dispensers and all that, and get picked up for the chests. It's a shame it got hit, but it is what it is, right? Not too upset about it. Let's see. We'll go over here. So right here, this is the lake. Oh, this did get hit. It's been a minute since I've been here last time, and some more stuff has been griefed a little bit. But this was like our little central lake area. We decorated heavily around this. This is the port over here that I built. When we were moving villagers and mobs to the base, in the first one I noticed that having a port would be really nice to transfer mobs back and forth to the base or around the base. So this was my design for a port. I really like this, one of the first things I built here when we first arrived, and the gist of this is that, you know, you have your mobs in the boat, you bring them into this little like holding dock area, and then ever since they added that you could put minecart tracks underwater, I added this so you can instantly have them in a nice contained area. Get them on the minecart track and then send them down the subway, and then you can send them somewhere else around the base. I built this at the new place I'm at right now, and it is very helpful, or a great idea that I came up with, and I highly recommend having one of these at your base if you're trying to collect mobs and move villagers around and stuff like that. It's very, very helpful. Let's see. Yeah, over here, just some nice decorated paths. A lot of decorating went in over here. I think some of this was done by Wena, some of this was done by me. Little cactus farm in here. Some tents and all that. Here, I'll get a little bit closer so we can get in the view range. None of these houses were really used. This is obviously the cactus farm, but this was just all this decoration over here. A lot of this was done by Wena, some of it was done by me and Squids. Yeah, not much really to say about it. Not much functionality right here. As you see, cactus farm right here. Built the cactus. Let's see. Over here, as I was mentioning in the first part of the video, this is our shulker farm. Our shulker duper. And the shulkers are gone, unfortunately. But this is the original design by me, and how this would work is that you have the shulkers in the middle here, and you would have the minecarts, and you would have the lever here for a safety switch. So if you didn't want, you know, the shulker shooting, you turn this off. But when you want to dupe shulkers, turn it on, what you would do is just flip this lever, the glass would all come up, and then you would sit in this minecart, and you go in circles, and the shulkers will try to shoot you, and if the shulker hits itself, or another shulker with its projectile, it will dupe. And that's a vanilla feature in game. It's not like some glitch or nothing like that. It's a intended feature. So when I learned that that's how it works, I built this little farm right here to dupe them. And I originally had a plan to have a system to carve them out, but I couldn't really quite figure that out. But yeah, when this will be like our little storage for shulkers, just in case the big farm lost its shulker from a glitch or something like that, which was a common occurrence because of the server settings or something like that. So this is my solution for it. This is where we kept shulkers. Obviously they're all gone now. I think they got killed when the base fell. But yeah, if you got shulkers at your base, and I would recommend having this just in case they die, because they tend to die. Let's see, where should we go now? I guess we'll go over here. This is one of my builds over here. This is my Citadel. This was one of the last builds I was working on right before the base fell. Didn't get quite to finish it, but you kind of see like the general kind of vibe I had over here. Over here I had a nice little church, stained glass windows, all that, and then over here was like my little like castle manor, all that. Looks like someone else here. Didn't really decorate the inside of it. It was gonna make a little throne room like I had at a previous base a really long time ago. And my idea for this was to have all these different layers on this little mountain, right? Little lag spike right there. Come right back. We're back. And I would have tunnels that would go all over this thing, and I would make it like a giant fortress. And never got quite to finish it, unfortunately. There was originally going to be like a giant gate right here, and there's going to be like a cannon right here, or like a statue, I think, and all that. But, you know, it looks good right now, I think. It's unfortunate I never got to finish it, but yeah, it was fun. I remember funny stories you can see right here. I was talking about how I wanted to make this like a fortress, and Dr. Squids went over there with a TNT cannon. He was laying siege to my fortress, and we had a fight, and a little fun right there. But yeah, a lot of good times here. But I'm gonna go over here now. Over here we have Mr. Metal Pumpkin's giant castle. I don't know what it is, but for some reason this man loves to build castles. And this was his castle. I don't think he ever quite finished it, but he did put a good amount of work and detail into this, so huge props for him. I'll take a little quick walkthrough through this. He did have a castle at the first base, but I did not cover it. It was one of the things I didn't cover in my base tour video, just because at the time he wanted it still secret, so I just never covered it. There's a couple of things I never covered, but yeah, this is very similar to his first one. This is like supposed to be like the main hall, and he was building these rooms, I think, right before the base fell. But come out over here. Yeah, he had all these rooms, and if I free cam outside real quick, you can kind of see the construction of this and how this was supposed to show up eventually. His idea was to have all these towers everywhere, and the main castle part was supposed to be up here, and it's kind of like a little mountainous area. And one second, my key broke. He was supposed to have all these mountains over here, and all these little towers, and there was supposed to be a big underground area too. Very ambitious, but again, short on time on this one, unfortunately. So never got to see the finished product. Let's go over here. We'll go back towards the main part of the base. I'll show you real quick what the command center looks like. After the grief. One second. There we are. Yeah, this is a little bit grief down here. Has these little signs still there, but the storage room down here with all the shulkers got hit pretty hard. And all the iron golem escaped too, so oh well. But yeah, that was a little unfortunate. If we come back over here, show you another big part of the base, which is Squids' village. Dr. Squids, he loves building villages. It's probably his favorite thing to build on the server. So he built a massive village right outside our storage room area. As you can see on the map, it is just massive. And I'll start over here. I'll talk about the village and I'll just walk through it so you guys can get the immersion of it. But over here was his dock. I believe one of his only videos that he made, he showed off this little boat right here that he made. I placed a bunch of cakes here originally, but here's like the captain's quarters of it, and he had the little maps here. He did a real good job on this. I really do like it. The sails and all that. Very nice little boat. I think he planned to build more, but never got around to it. Over there's a lighthouse that I built. I mostly copied that from a tutorial, but I wanted to really build a lighthouse over here. I felt like it would have fit right there pretty well, and along with expanding the base that way. If I come through over here, I'm not sure if it still works, but if you listen, let's see, does it still work? Maybe. I built this little contraption down here, and it's a little bit of an ambience thing. There's a hopper clock down here, and when it switches, after a certain amount of time, the bells will ring, and it kind of sounds like a port kind of setting with like the ship bells going. So that I built that for yeah, there we go. There it is. I built that for the this port, just kind of add a little bit of an ambience to it. I know that's probably like one of the hardest things to do in this game is kind of adding like sounds and all that for like ambience to builds, and that was the idea I had. Yeah, if we go this way, this is all just village. Over here's like a little trading post area, and I'll just keep walking and I'll just talk as I go. A washing station. Over here's like a little beach area. Over here's like it was like a natural crater, and we kind of built a little park around it. Go through all these little houses. Over here's a little old style fort. Lag. Little style fort right here. As you can see, Squids put an immense amount of detail into this village. You could probably walk around this place for like an hour and still keep finding new stuff. Little like altar area right here. Right here is my wall. This is my Great Wall. I spent a lot of time building this thing. I just built it straight out of stone brick. I plan to add more detail to it later. As the quality of our builds are going up, I felt obligated to do it, but never got around to it, unfortunately. But over here, some more houses. Going down this little street right here. Nice little pond. You know, like I said, the detail here is just amazing. And then here's one of the gateways. I got our flag right here and our banners. You go through the wall right here. Over here, you come out to the port. This is my port over here that I made. I was a little inspired by this, by like the city of Venice, and I kind of wanted to have like this open kind of like floor area for like kind of like the main part of the port. Here's like a little bell tower. Here's a tavern. Yeah, here's our port. This was again probably planned to have an area for us to, because there's lots of oceans out this way. So I wanted to build a port so we can have a way to go get animals, bring them back, bring them here, all this other fun stuff. Here's my tavern, the Explorer's Tavern. Did a pretty good job on this one, actually. It's pretty basic, I'm not even gonna lie, but I like the fireplace that I made here. I think I did a pretty good job on that. The intended purpose was this, to store the maps. I know Mojang keeps adding these new Explorer maps every update for these new structures, so the idea was just to have a place to store them and go out on our little expeditions and all that. I'll go over there in a second, but I'll swing around this way first. Again, more houses over here. This is more of all Squids builds. Little farms and houses, and again, immense amount of detail. And then there's a little watchtower here, and then you kind of get to the part where you can tell this is where the construction stops. This is where, after the base got leaked, this is what was left. You can see I extended my wall all the way through here, to here, and it went this way, and it went all the way towards the Citadel over there. But yeah, again, very unfortunate. It was never finished. But we come over here. I'll keep walking. Our little market area, and here's another gate through the wall into the main village area. There's a little wizard tower right there. Take a little peek over here real quick. I don't, yeah, there's no way up there, but there's a little ritual altar area that Squids made. Nice and a little fun. Yeah, again, very, very well done job. I know I keep saying it, but Squids did a very well job at this. Over here's a church that he made. Again, very, very well done. Come through here, nothing much on the inside, a little bit of stained glass and all that. But the outside, he did a really good job on. You have all these other houses around here, and I think back here he made a graveyard. Yeah, a little graveyard back here beyond the church. So on. And yeah, there's just lots and lots of houses here. If you ever have the chance to visit here one day, feel free to explore, obviously. Plenty to look around for. Over here's the wall. Nice little... I think, here, I'll show this real quick, actually. This used to be like an outskirts area before, because it was just like over here, and over here that we made, or Squids and Wena made Hagrid's hut. I think this is from Harry Potter. Just a nice little build over here. Kind of kept it nice and rural. But as you see, the urban expanse has expanded the village over here. If you come over here, there's a little Easter egg, a little inside joke. The mud hut. Mr. Zoltan over here, the mud hut owner. If you know, you know. That's all I'm gonna say. But little inside joke with some of my friends right there. Right there. Over here, this is Wena's train station. I think they were gonna build a giant train right here as like a decoration piece, but it never got finished. But there's a giant train station right here, right outside the wall. And eventually we're gonna expand this over here to incorporate this area more, but never got around to it. But that's okay. We'll go back over here. Fly along the wall. Or actually, we'll walk it. Why not, right? Walk across the wall right here. See the port, see the rest of the town. I don't think I mentioned this earlier, but this is the Central Park, I think Squids called it. He put one of every tree type here, just in case, you know, we want to farm the wood types manually, and just to have it look nice too. All the flowers and all that. Uh-oh. Take cover from the night. But yeah, he did a real good job at this. There's some this famous melon and pumpkin farms here. Don't know if they're operational anymore, but yeah, that's the Central Park area. And if we continue along the path over here, we'll see a little bit more of the... Let me kill these guys real quick. We'll hide in here for a second. But, see over here, this is my area I did. Squids expanded on it. A little bit more of a port and wheat fields over here. And then we get over here to the Grand Genack Temple. And as you remember from the first base, we had a little Genack Temple area, and Squids felt obligated on Genack's behalf to expand his temple network and to make a bigger and better temple, and that's what he did right here. As you can see, there's plenty of little temples and all that, and we have the main building. This is all made out of quartz. Yeah, built this giant temple complex on this hill right here. Squid did a really good job at this. There was supposed to be more here. I don't think he fully 100% finished it, but here's a little bridge I made that connects over here to Greed's little underground area. It's kind of still here, but Yeah, this was Gray's area. He was working on this before the base fell. There's not too much here, I don't think. He kept changing it, but it was supposed to be like a really big underground city type feel. Doesn't look like he finished too much, but there's that. Let's see. And then we'll come over here. We're just about done with the base tour. I think over here this was for like an achievement or something like that. Kind of see with the chunks loading how big the base was. Over here was the raid farm. This has been griefed pretty hard. This wasn't, I can't, excuse me, wasn't able to show this in the world download because it wasn't included in that. But down here there was just a giant room, and this was just filled with emerald shulkers. There's more than you can ever dream of. All these other materials we got too. I don't know if this farm is now outdated because of the recent update and changes, but yeah, this farm was designed by Wolfsbane, and it was built by Husky. Very, very, very efficient design that was made. I'm not too familiar with how raid farms work, so I mean, if you're a raid farm expert, you might be able to take a look at this and understand it. But yeah. And that is just about it. There's one final area over here that I'm going to show, which is my favorite. But I'm going to go over a little bit of the history of the base for this final part, and kind of my closing statements on this. As some people know, the fall of the base wasn't too pretty. We did lose some items, and there was a lot of drama between the base members. It was very unfortunate how it happened. I don't think we know, I don't think we'll ever know how the base got leaked. It was very unfortunate. A lot of blame game was played, and a lot of people were very upset, and a lot of us stopped playing for a while. Some of us don't play to this day. It's very unfortunate how it all went down. Very sorry to everybody on the base that has happened. Yeah, that's all I really gotta say about it. Yeah, we did a lot of good things here. We achieved a lot, and I think this video is a testimony to that. Yeah, I'm still friends with everybody. I'm still cool with everybody. Not so much for everyone else to each other, unfortunately. That's all I'm gonna say about it. But yeah, in here is my little Firewatch tower. This little area, I called it the National Park. Here, I'll come out here to load all the chunks. Very fitting that it's snowing now, but this was all just natural terrain that I found, and it was just meadows and all these nice cool snow-capped mountains, and I thought this terrain was absolutely beautiful, that I wanted to preserve it, so I made it my national park, and I was going to build all these little hiking trails all throughout it, and have a little village on the other side, and it was supposed to be pretty cool, but I never was able to fully seed the vision out. As you can see right here, this is where the achievement, or the advancement, I mean, it's now called, you can get that, and then right here, this is where the museum died. Right before the base fell, I started to move. I was going to hide some of the museum shulkers here, and when I was here, a creeper snuck up on me and blew everything up. So, oops. The museum from the first base is gone, unfortunately. All those artifacts are gone. I asked Genack if he could do anything. He never responded to me, unfortunately. Which is a shame. So, yeah, all those items are gone. Very, very sad. All the maps, like, just about everything is gone. All in this little hole right here. So, GG on that. Yeah, this is my little Firewatch tower. I built this freehand, just looking at different towers. I was in Colorado previous year, and I went to one, and I thought it was really nice, and so I tried to copy it. And here's all where all my little animals are hiding at, all my IRL pets. I'm going to be moving them after this video, so if people come here, they're going to be gone, because they're at my new base now. But yeah, this is my little Firewatch tower. I like it. I used to come out here and hang out sometimes and watch the snow. Turn the shaders on real quick. I'll load the chunks again real quick. A little bit of spam going on in the chat. Wouldn't be TTAC without it. But yeah, as you can see, just looking at this terrain, it's absolutely beautiful. And that's why I chose to build here. But yeah, that is the base tour, I think. Not as much as the first base, but in my opinion, and some of my team members' opinions, this was definitely the better of the two. Thank you guys all so much for watching. Views are very much appreciated. I'm hoping that my next base that I'm working on with the boys and all that will trump this one as well. Yeah, I really have nothing much more to say. I think I covered everything. Covered what I wanted to say. And I think we're going to end the video here. So, if you stuck around and watched the whole thing, thank you for watching. I very much appreciate it. Yeah, we'll call it right there. Thank everybody for watching. Have a good rest of your day or night. And peace.